I was in a medically necessitated reading break for 2 months, so I think I'm in the right position to tell you if the 7 books that I read in June could get you out of a reading slump. First, we have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Yes, 100% could get you out of a reading slump. Wow. I love this book. I gave this book 4 stars. It was beautifully written. The pacing was really good. The magic system is unique. Evangeline and Jax have such a fresh dynamic, and I love this take on enemies to lovers. If you want to get back into reading romantasy, I think this is a good book to start with. It's refreshing, it's light, it's easy to digest. I read this, I think, in a day. Yes, would get you out of a reading slump immediately because I continued into The Ballad of Never After, and oh my god. And this book, I love this book a lot more than the first one. The tension could be cut with a knife. This is the only 5-star read that I have for June, so that says a lot. The dynamics, the fan art for some of the scenes in this book, chef's kiss. I love this. So yes, would get you out of a reading slump. Definitely. Third book that I read, surprise, surprise, A Curse for True Love. Of course, it's the third book in this trilogy. I was stressed for a majority of this book. I think I read this again in around a day or two. It was one of the character POVs, which by the way is one of the things I like about this series. It's character POVs, but it's written in third person, which I love. This book was so stressful, but it was so fulfilling. Beautiful end to a series. I think I gave this one a 4.5. It's made me put Caraval on my TBR as well. Next book that I read was Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. Yes, this was a Hermione fic. I see you. This was definitely a Hermione fic as a seasoned Hermione fic reader. My alchemized copy is also looking at me from the shelf. Anyway, I gave this a 3.5 star just because I was not the biggest fan of its writing. There's a unique magic system and a lot of political warfare that it could be kind of difficult to grasp depending on the state of mind that you're reading this with. So for that reason, I would say it would maybe get you out of a reading slump. I feel like this isn't the best book to try and get out of a reading slump with anyway, because it tackles a lot of dark themes that I feel like are very relevant to the current events of the world, and I don't think if I was coming from a reading slump, but it was really good. There were some scenes that I had to sit and digest for a few hours before I could continue, and I feel like it could only improve from there, and I'm excited to read the second book in November. 3.5 stars, good, but not the book that would probably get you out of a reading slump. Another 3.5 star read for me this month was When the Moon Hatched by Sarah Parker. I've seen so many mixed reviews about this book here on Book Talk, and for the right reasons. I love this book. I love the concept. I love the story. I love the characters and their backgrounds. Now, the thing is, if you are going into this book without the right mindset, I feel like this would be the kind of book to put you into a reading slump before you even finish it. That's probably why it's a 3.5 star for me, while I've seen a lot of people personally rate it much higher than that. It's just that I feel like I'm not in the right state of mind to properly digest the story, but I did enjoy it, and I'm currently reading the second book in the series, and so far I really like it. Again, this is written in first person character POVs, which not my favorite. Sad to say, not my favorite, and I feel like it's one of the reasons why I give this and Rose in Chains 3.5 stars. I feel like they could do so much better if they were written in third person. I'm sorry. When the Moon Hatched, if you do start reading it, the prologue is in third person. It was so well written, and it was what hooked me into the story in the first place. But yes, that is something to consider. I feel like this is something that you need to sit down with, and it's one of the reasons why I didn't start with the second book right after I finished it. You need to digest it. Overall, I just wouldn't recommend this to get out of a reading slump, but I enjoyed the book a lot. I also forgot to mention, but When the Moon Hatched, beautiful print. The illustrations per chapter and the way that a lot of the elements are like drawn out. It's so pretty, and I feel like you would really appreciate this if you sat down with it a lot more than I did. Moving forward, my last two reads are from a series, The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel Jensen. If you've seen any of my recent reading vlogs or any of my recent posts, you would know that I went through it for this one. I needed a break from magic and dragons and that sort of fantasy, so I picked this up because I knew they were humans. This is a really refreshing book. It was written in character POVs, but in third person! Oh, that made me so happy after reading first person for like 1,000 pages. So, The Bridge Kingdom. Enemies to lovers, political warfare, tension, yearning, pining, forbidden romance, spy, assassin, strong. FMC, but not in an overpowering way. Soft, kind, beautiful boy, male main character. Makes me want to put him in my pocket. Goddamn! This, yes, would get you out of a reading slump. Beautifully written, wonderful world building. I am a bit biased because it was set mostly in the sea and in islands, and as a pirate girl, that was right up my alley, and I loved it. I ate it up. My annotations looked like this. This book had me stressing. My heart rate was constantly up when I was reading this book, but it was so worth it. Proceeding to the second book. Goddamn! I was stressed and depressed for the 24 hours that I read this book. It was so good. I feel like the focus of the first book is on the romance and some of the political warfare and the world building, but the second book, redemption, trusting again, kind of second chance romance, but beautifully written. The amount of self-loathing that is present in the second book, the way it's written is so good. I was crying for multiple of the pages and multiple scenes. There's this one specific scene that I won't spoil, but it's almost at the very end. I loved these two books. I think I gave Bridge Kingdom a 4-star and Traitor Queen a 4.5 just because Traitor Queen resonated with me a lot more because it talked about the self-loathing and doubt within Lara, who is the FMC, and it was so beautifully written, so well done. Also, the sisterhood in the second book, the yearning. Anyway, that was my June reading wrap-up after 2 months of being unable to read because of my eyes. Just a recap. First book, Once Upon a Broken Heart, yes. And as well to the other 2 books in the series would get you out of a reading slump, definitely. Rose and Chains, maybe. It really depends on how well you're able to stomach a lot of the dark themes that go on in this book. When the Moon Hatched, for my peace of mind, I will say that it's a maybe, but personally it's a no. This would probably put you into a reading slump, like I said. Lastly, Bridge Kingdom and Traitor Queen, yes, 100% yes. If you want a break from fantasy that is magical and involves dragons and creatures and all of that, and you just want to read about 2 monarchs who are in an arranged marriage, yes, read The Bridge Kingdom and Traitor Queen. It's so beautiful. That's it. Bye. Love y'all.